Hello, everybody, and welcome to the BU podcast. My name is Jess, and as per, I'm here with
Liv.
Oh my god, I did not expect you to do that. That was incredible.
Neither did I.
So
I shocked myself.
You did. It's a beautiful thing. So today's podcast is a subject that's quite popular for people who are about to start university, and it's all about being anxious, making friends, which is a completely normal thing. So we've got a wonderful one-person guest audience with us today. And would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi there, everyone. My name is Brandon Semi, and I'm on vocal performance at University of Chichester.
Awesome. So let's get started. Brandon and Liv, really, were you anxious about making friends before starting university?
It feels like it was a long time ago now, like pre-ancient times. But yes, I was terrified, which is strange because usually I am a very extroverted, confident person. But I was just worried that I would be alone and I would get lost alone and that I wouldn't make any friends. But it all turned out all right in the end.
Yeah, I'd say the same for me. Like, I was very worried that nobody would like me or I just wouldn't really connect with anybody there. And I think as soon as I got there, everything just kind of flowed away just because I just kind of let myself go and just put the best version of me forward. And it just made connections straight away.
That's really good. Why were you worried nobody would like you, Brandon? With those lights behind you, it's absolutely stunning.
Thank you. I wouldn't say that I wasn't too worried. It was more so like I was just very in my head about it. And I think being somewhere completely new and unrecognizable to what I'm used to, any kind of thoughts was just easy to cloud my mind. And I think just having a thought of nobody liking me was enough to scare me to do it into going away.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think being in like a completely new environment as well isn't helping at all. Like, you're worried about making friends, you're worried about moving to a new city, moving into halls or wherever you were in first year, like with people that you don't know. It's absolutely terrifying. Like, I was scared as well. It's a nerve-wracking situation. Did you have any like main concerns about like meeting people, or you can say no, feel free.
To be fair, I think the main concern for me was just not being liked and just not finding anyone that had anything in common with me, because like usually I am very chatty and very like extroverted, like Liv as well. And I think if I didn't have anyone to kind of bounce any ideas or like any sort of conversation off, I just kind of feel like I'd be lost essentially.
Yeah. And did you manage to make any friends or anything before starting uni, so then it wasn't as completely terrifying?
Actually, yes. I actually used the Facebook like chats that they make, and I actually met one of the people who was in the room next to me. And like,
oh my god!
So like, we'd had like a good conversation like a good couple of weeks before uni, and then when we got there, like it was just like we already knew each other essentially, which is actually really nice.
Yeah. Did you do anything similar, Liv?
Yeah, so I was chatting to this girl through one of our hall's group chats, which was a really, really cool idea. And I was like, oh, this Lucy girl is really cool. I like her. Turns out she was in the room next door to me. So that was really, really cool. And we're still great friends now. Honestly, she's one of my favourite people ever. And I can't wait to see her when we go back. So genuinely, I feel like I've made friends for life at uni. You go through such a unique experience together that like you just can't not have that bond that's so unique and so special.
Yeah, definitely. Did you find that you like only really make friends with people on your course, or like did you manage to meet people from other courses or even other year groups?
When I first moved into halls, everyone in my floor was sports people. So there was like sports, outdoor adventure education, coaching, sports therapy. So I literally knew nobody in music. And like at first I was like, I really don't know how to feel. But as soon as I kind of got to know them more, like it was actually really nice, and they're still really lovely people to this day. And like strangely enough, I found it harder to connect with people on my course because the course I'm on, it's like divided into like classical music and non-classical music. And in my year, I was the only one on non-classical music. So like, I kind of felt like having that difference in genre of music really kind of set me aside, and it made it harder to kind of have a connection and have that kind of same wavelength. But I think over time I kind of got over that, and then just casually just got back involved with like everyone there, and like we still kind of get along to this day.
That's really good. I have to admit, when I was just a baby little undergrad, I was absolutely terrified of sports students. This is nothing horrible against sports students. I was just very scared of all of them in their sliders and shorts in the winter. And I was like, I'm not cool enough to be friends with sports people, but now I am friends with sports people, and they are not as scary as I anticipated. And if I could go back to myself as an undergrad and be like, babe, they're just as dorky as you are. You don't need to get a pair of sliders, and you don't need to wear shorts in the winter to be a cool person at the university. And so, yeah, it just like goes to show that like you can be friends with literally anybody at the uni. Like nobody cares really.
I was just going to add something to it. I think it's actually really important to have your course people, to have your flat, to have your societies, because you get to meet lots of different people. And if you were living with people solely on your course, you would live and breathe your degree. And yes, it is important to put time into your degree, but it's also really important to like live the uni experience, and being able to chat to people who are also feeling the same as you but aren't directly on your course means that there's no comparison, but you're able to like support each other without direct experience of being on that specific degree. So for me, it was like a really comforting experience having people around me who were just solely there to like live with and not just also do my degree with as well. And yeah, I just found my family in my first year. I'm so close to all of the people that I live with in first year still. So yeah.
Very good. And it's nice to like talk to people about other courses as well, because I do music as well. And like, I know we get so wrapped up in everything that we do, but it's just like, oh yeah, there are other courses at this university. It's not all about music as much as I think that it is. But yeah, it was really, really cool getting to know other people from other courses. Like I lived with a lot of musical theatre people, but I also had somebody on dance and somebody on English and creative writing, I think. So it was just interesting to see like how they worked in comparison to me. I found it really interesting. Liv, you mentioned societies. Are either of you part of a society?
I am, yes. I am in the LGBT Society. I help run it, which is really exciting. I've mentioned this in a previous podcast, and we're going to do a podcast in the future on societies, which is really exciting. But yeah, I have found and met some incredible people who just share similar experiences to me, who are just such lovely, genuine people. And it's really widened my circle of friends and people that I know at uni. I think something I've realised at this uni is that it doesn't matter what year you're in, you're friends with so many people from different years, which is so great. You really are a community and a family. You don't just stick to your year group or your course or the people you live with. You mix with loads of different people, and often when you know somebody, they know somebody else who you also know. It's great.
Yeah, it's very true. Are you part of a society at all, Brandon?
I'm currently part of the rowing club at the university.
Are you?
That's so
very cool.
Yeah.
Really
Honestly,
cool.
I find it so much fun just like going there like 2-3 times a week and just doing something like, even as like mundane as like exercising and not doing like circuits and like rowing technique. Like we all end up having a laugh together, and then we always organise socials together. And, like it's just a great way to kind of get close with everyone and like just bond over everything.
That's awesome. Did you like do rowing before uni, or was it something that you were like, I'm just going to try this while I'm here?
Honestly, it was just something like coming around second year in Freshers Fair, I was just looking at everything and just like, you know what, this one was a compelling argument, I'll take it.
Oh, that's so cool. That is amazing. See, because I am not part of a sports team or society, which I feel like is a crying shame. I know, I'm so sorry. But here's my little argument. I am part of all like the music ensembles, so I feel like they kind of are societies, but because they're run by the music department, they don't count. But again, same as you live, like they're full of people from every single year group. So I have friends with people who are in first year who are like 6 years younger than me, which is horrifying. And yeah, I really do. Thank you, Liv. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks.
Where's the grey hairs?
Yeah. Just I don't want to talk about my grey hairs. It's a sore subject. But yeah, like even in the music ensembles, everybody knows everybody, and like everybody who like plays the same instrument as me, we all know each other. And it's just, yeah, it's nice that kind of like the divide between the year groups that you get like at school and stuff just doesn't count. It's just like, oh yeah, they're 2 years below me. Ugh. It's just like, well, I don't care how old you are. But everybody likes to call me old, which I really appreciate. Yeah, it's okay. Save your tears for the pillow.
It's also great when you're first moving in to be around people of different ages, because that can be such a fundamental support. So I live with another third year, a second year, and a first year, and it works so well because we can support the first year and just be like, it's all going to be okay. We're here to support you. We know the way around the uni. But also it's really great to have someone that's not as stressed about deadlines and as like worrying about the end of their degree and worrying about what they're going to do after uni. It's really great balance. It's a really nice environment to be in. And that transcends to societies and things like that as well.
Yeah, definitely. So the burning question, obviously, because our university is not a very big university, is it really true that everybody knows everybody?
Yes. Like, what I can say is, like, I think within the first sort of half of second year, I became friends with like a couple people on the musical theatre department, and then as soon as I start hanging out with them, I just end up seeing so many other people. And then as well, like I think this year as well, there's been like Facebook group chats to kind of go around to kind of help everyone with like the current like pandemic as well. And like I think when people start joining stuff like that as well, like it just turns into like a small sense of community, and it's like what helps everyone get through everything together.
It's definitely, you are completely correct. Like I always find like I'm walking around campus and I see somebody that like I either know or like I at least recognize. Like my face is on the front of the library, which is delightful. And
I've seen that so many times. I love it.
Oh my god, yeah. So have I.
No one can't recognise you.
yeah, that's the treat. Yeah, and like I'm everywhere, so I'm sure people are sick of the sight of my face. And I do feel sorry for everybody. And now they have to listen to my voice, which is even worse.
Everyone loves you, Jess.
Yeah, we all love you, Jess.
Thanks for the validation. Oh my god, stop. This has become the We Love Jess podcast now. Change the title.
Be Jess, not be you.
Yeah, be Jess. Everybody has to like change everything about themselves to become me. We can, sorted, done. Do you feel the same, Liv? Do you think that everybody knows everybody? Because obviously you're not in the music department like we are.
Yeah, I do. And I love that. One of the things that I looked at when choosing uni was somewhere small where there was a community feel and you weren't just alone. I don't think I've ever felt lonely at uni, which I think was something that I was expecting, especially moving away from home. I just feel like there's someone that's going to support me somewhere, and yeah, everyone does know everybody, but that's great because you can go, oh, so and so, and you'll go, oh yeah, I know them through X, Y, and it's just, yeah, it makes everyone come together. And yeah, I think that's why we have such a community family-like feel, because everyone does know everyone.
Yeah. And does like the community feel kind of make you feel more comfortable about meeting new people because you know that there's probably going to be a connection somewhere?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And especially because sometimes you can know people in higher years. So I met a couple of people who were in second year when I was starting at uni that I found through Facebook and things like that. So that enabled me to feel less lonely and like I had a source of support when I started. And maybe a bigger university, I don't know, because my experience obviously is only going to a small one, you wouldn't get that same level of kind of community feel and support.
Yeah, it's definitely got its benefits. the community side of things. And so you knew people before you came to uni, like people in the years above you?
Yeah, and also I had a girl who had a gap year who went to my school who also started a year later than me. So she was messaging me like, "Oh, I'm really scared. Like, what? I'm scared about making friends. Blah blah blah." And it was
That's
just
really
so
cute.
nice that I was able to give back to something that I'd received.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just such a welcoming environment. I think as soon as I came into the uni, I was like, this is home. This feels like a community. This feels like a family.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. What is your main advice on how to make friends when starting uni? You can take interns.
I would say the best advice I can really give is take every opportunity you can get to go out, because for like any event, any sort of like just any reason just to kind of stay outside like your room, like you're bound to meet other people there, whether it's like going to karaoke's or going to like a Wishy Wednesday, or even so just going to the canteen with like someone that's in your building or on your course. It's just a great way to kind of meet new people and just get to know them that way.
Yeah,
That
I
is
totally
solid
agree with
advice.
that. That is
Yeah.
such solid advice. I think just knowing that everyone's in the same boat, everyone is terrified. I guarantee
Oh,
you,
yes.
all three of us sat here are going, "Yep, we were terrified." And I guarantee you,
Yep.
if you're listening to this, you're probably anxious about going to uni and about making friends as well. It's our most popular asked question, so I hope that gives you some sort of comfort. For me, in the first week, I made an effort to wear band and musicals t-shirts so that people I was chatting to could be like, "Oh, I know that artist," or "I know that musician," and it's created a conversation. Or they could go, "I like your t-shirt," and we could chat about it. And one of the girls who I spoke to on my course in the first week who said, "I like your t-shirt," we're now such close friends.
Oh my
So
God.
That's
it
so
just
cool.
breaks that barrier. It breaks that barrier of going, "Hello, I'm Liv. Nice to meet you." It's just, yeah. "What do you study?" It's just,
Oh,
it breaks that barrier and kind of gives a conversation starter, and automatically someone will know that they've got a similar interest to you.
that is such a good idea. I like genuinely never thought about doing that. That's so. Liv, you're a genius. They should scrap
Thanks, I
that.
do
It's going to be called
try.
This is the Be Liv podcast, everybody. she's a genius. So, yeah, I think that's absolutely solid advice from both of you, really. Like, it is just all about getting out there, putting yourself out there, and remembering that we're all really scared. And I found that a lot of the older years would kind of like scoop up the first years
Yes.
and be like, "You look lost, come with
Yeah.
me." Or like, especially in music, it was like, "What instrument do you play?" "Oh, I know somebody who also plays that instrument." Or, "You should join this ensemble and come sit next to me." And like, that is kind of exactly what happened to me in my first year, and now what I do to people in lower years. I'm like, "You can come, I'll be your uni grandma, it's fine, I don't mind." So
I think also a great way of getting to know people is organise going to lessons together, because then if you all get lost,
yeah,
you're all lost together. And also it's a great way to get to know each other without a pressurised lecture or rehearsal environment.
yeah. And when you've got like an end goal of somewhere to be, like if
Yes.
there's an awkward conversation, you'll be like, "It's cool, we're nearly at the lecture, it's fine."
Yeah, and also you've got
Yeah,
something to talk about. You can be like, "I don't know where I'm going. How's your week been? How's freshers?" Like, you can make that kind of conversation. Even if you're not
yeah,
best friends by the end of the 3 years, at least you'll know a couple of people and you'll have a couple of familiar faces. That's the most
yeah.
important thing in the first few weeks when you're feeling a little bit like, "Oh, I don't know anyone."
Terrifying.
Don't put pressure on yourself to make best friends for life in the first week. You'll get to meet
Nah.
so many different people. Just get to know faces. That's the most important thing in the
Yeah.
first few weeks. That's just focus on being yourself and being you. But
Oh my God, we've tied it all together. That's it. This is peak podcast. We've done it. On that beautiful note, Liv, do you want to do the old social stuff, queen of social media? Off she goes.
Yes, I can do indeed. So if you want to join our conversation, you can hashtag us at ChiUni. And if you want to ask us a question, you can message us on Instagram or Twitter. Or if you have a lengthier question or concern, email us at studyhere@chi.ac.uk.
You are smashing that every single time, Liv.
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much, Brandon, for coming and talking to us, giving us all your advice. We hope you've enjoyed yourself, and thank you, Liv, as always. Oh my God, stop it. And you bringing those lights has just like made my day.
Oh, they're great. They're great. I'm a little bit mesmerised, to be honest.
A great way to be you.
Oh, this is beautiful. I'm loving it. So thank you everybody so much for listening. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.